The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Welcome back to The Gloves Are Off. Matt Schumont filling in for Moses Boldu, who still has a little turkey hangover, but of course always joining me, Greg Buchanan. How's it going?
Not too bad, Matt.
And Mike Baden.
Yes.
How's it going?
Great. I've been waiting hours to be on the show.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
How's Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, went
good.
back to Edmonton, had a good time, hung with family.
Right on. Well, let's get right into things. We'll talk about the wild card game, St. Louis, Atlanta. Infield fly rule. I don't know if you guys saw it, but do you think it really should have been an infield fly, considering the ball dropped between the wall and the infield?
Yeah, I don't know how they call that an infield fly. I've been around baseball for a long time, and infield fly is definitely not that.
Yeah, and what makes things even worse, too, is with the playoffs now, there's 6 umps. So
Yeah. You always just make the play. Don't they let it drop and everything like that. Make the play, and then there's no worry about anything, right?
Now, do you think what the Atlanta fans did was kind of not really nice,
Well,
throwing stuff, delaying the game for a good 20 minutes?
Well, they're upset. I don't want to say I don't want to condone it, but at the same time, you paid money to play. You see your team play, that you think they got ripped off, and you're going to be upset.
Yeah, okay.
I agree with that, yeah. I'd be pretty upset.
Okay, moving on with the divisional series, Cincy, San Fran. San Fran dropping the first 2 games at home, head back to Cincy now. Does San Fran have a chance to claw their way back into the series?
It's not going to be easy going back to Cincinnati now, and Cincinnati's a strong baseball club. I was hoping San Fran would go deep in the playoffs, but I think their playoff run's going to be a short one.
Yeah, they need Bonds to come back, and then they'll be able to. Then they'll make that big comeback, make it a 3-2.
Now, with all 3 games back in Cincy, do you think San Fran will be able to get at least 1 win, or do we just see a flat-out sweep? I
do like San Fran's pitching staff. I think the middle relief is as strong as anybody else in baseball, even their closers. But their starting pitching is somewhat suspect at times, so it's going to come down to whoever's on the mound who's going to have a good game.
It's tough with that format, with the 2-3.
Yeah, MLB kind of
it sounds like it could be good, but if you get a split even in those first 2 games, you're on the downslope the whole way for the rest of the series.
Yeah, speaking of splits, we'll move on to the Washington-St. Louis series. Now, Washington got their first playoff win in, 35-plus years. Now, heading back to Washington, do you think they have the advantage, or do you think the Cardinals will be able to get some of that playoff magic again?
I just think St. Louis is too strong. I think in any way, St. Louis could have easily won both of those games. You look at it, the Cardinals have a strong pitching. Their hitting is throughout the lineup. I think they're going to be a tough team to beat.
It's the Cards going back home now too, right?
It is.
For 3 games.
No, it's going back to Washington.
Is it going to Washington?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Did they do the switch on that one then?
Okay. Yeah, it's weird with the home field advantage. You don't really get home field advantage because the first 2 games you're on the road.
Yeah.
But heading back to Washington, that's
now
where I'm coming from. Do you think Washington with the home field advantage can pull it off, or the Cardinals once again with their playoff magic?
I feel like the Cards are just going to pull it out. Like, the game yesterday was not even close.
It was a blow.
It was just gone from the start.
Exactly. Now, do you think, with Strasburg being shut down, do you think that was the right thing for Washington to do, or do you think you should chuck him in even as a reliever or closer?
Well, you have to give them credit. They stuck by their guns. You think that because of the situation they're in, maybe they could actually pick up another playoff win if they throw him on the mound. But at the same time, they're looking down the road for a future. Some of the fans probably don't agree with it, but if it works out for them 2 or 3 years down the road, they're going to be the ones smiling about it.
You look to the future, but the future is right now. You don't have, it's the MLB, they added the new wild card, so you have a bigger chance of making the playoffs, but you don't finish first every single year.
Exactly.
And I think you just got to take the shot. Yeah, it could potentially ruin him, but I don't know. I would put him in for sure. So you got to win.
See, baseball, unlike other sports where things have to really fall together for you to make a postseason run, where in hockey, if you're one of the top 8 teams in your conference, you have a chance to get into the dance, and you win a few games, and you have a chance to go deep in the playoffs. In baseball, everything has to come together through 100-plus games for you to get to the postseason.
Over 50% of people teams make it in the NHL. It's not even close to that in the MLB.
Exactly. Okay, moving on to the AL now. We got the Yankees in Baltimore. Baltimore just took Game 2 to earn the split. Now they head back to New York. How do you think that series will unfold back in the Bronx?
Hope the Yankees lose.
You're not a Yankee fan, are you?
I hate the dreaded empire. I hate the evil empire, and I'm not a big Yankee fan. But you have to kudos to them. They have a great baseball team. Baltimore's making a series of it. I'd like to see them make a series of it and beat out the Yankees. But the billion-dollar payroll the Yankees have probably is going to prevail.
I like the Yankees. I hope they go. I hope they get it. If you could buy a team and get them to win, anyone would do it if you can get them to win. So people don't like them because they spend a lot of money and they win a lot. I hope that they I like Baltimore. It's kind of like a dream season for them, but which would be cool because I can't see them being right back there next year like they are this year. I don't know, I think the Yankees are taking it for sure.
I think if Baltimore can get the lead and going into the seventh, because I think they're like 75-0 with the lead heading to the seventh. Jim Johnson's just unreal, just blowing smoke constantly. Do you think they might have a chance? Because they're going to have to play a little bit of small ball. Like you're not going to see 12-10 games. I think it's going to be low scoring all the way.
Yeah, you can't outslug the Yankees.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have to keep, like you say, small ball. You're going to have to get your runs, get some earned runs, and get some guys on base, and whatever you have to do to get a few runs against the Yankees, because all of a sudden they're going to come up with a few big bats, and then the game's over.
Baltimore's going to need to use bats if they want to get past the Yankees, because if it is close games, the Yankees know how to get those wins that a team like Baltimore that hasn't been there before, they just don't have the experience.
Well, there should be a lot of home runs going back to New York, considering the air there or whatever their little model.
However that works.
Yeah, now moving on to the Moneyball series with Oakland and Detroit. Now Detroit going to Oakland up 2-0, have a chance to close out the series tonight. Do you think there's a little bit of the magic left in Oakland's shoes, or is it kind of...
Brad Pitt's been called in.
Brad Pitt has been called in?
Yeah, him and Jonah Hill are there, and they're going to make it the big comeback.
I want to see Jonah Hill, yeah.
But does Oakland have a legit chance of getting back in this series, or is Prince and Cabrera just too much for them?
I think more than anything, they go back home now. They're just looking to win the next game, and that's all you have to do. After you lose the first two, it's a short series. Go out and win the next game, and then see what happens in Game 4.
I think they're out of it. The gas that they used to get themselves to the playoffs and overcome that big deficit that they were in, I think they just ran out of gas and they just don't have it anymore.
Yeah, but just like Bucky said, do you feel if they get that one win, maybe get the ball momentum?
Yeah, I think they're a young enough team that, so what, we're down 2-0, and they're cocky enough too that they think they can come back in this one. So never count them out, and the next game's going to be an important one.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Come back, we got a little more Dump and Change coming up.